Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug, and it's coming to you. Usually, I have my altcoin show comes at around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my crypto show, which generally focuses on Bitcoin, comes out around 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I flipped them today. And so we had a little bit of technical challenges that we have navigated. And so the altcoin show went out early a few hours ago. If you haven't checked that out, check that out. And we're having my daily crypto show coming out here just around, I think, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today. All right. Well, wherever you are watching from around the world, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate that. And of course, we are going to discuss today the great Bitcoin wealth transfer. What does that mean? You're going to find out that in a moment. We're going to look at the Bitcoin charts as well. And of course, before we do that, if you're a regular watcher, you know what I'm going to say. Smash the likes. This does help get this channel out to more people and does help support the channel also as well. Appreciate all the kind words and comments that people, encouraging comments that people put below. Do appreciate that. I do read all of those and respond to all of those as well, and all the questions that get left there as well. I do get back to all those. I have been traveling yesterday and the day before, and so it's just taking me a little bit longer to get back to all those, but stay patient. I will get back to all that. The cheat sheet is below in the description. What's that if you're new? It's my roadmap to crypto success. I added a new tab there. It's called the Daily Trades tab, and it has a lot of setups. There's instructions there. And actually, the video that I did earlier today, I did touch on how to use that and take profits and how to stop out of those trades and make sure that you are maximizing your gains in this crypto cycle as well. In the link below in the description is the link to the Discord, the most amazing Discord on the planet, the Stocks with Josh Discord. I'm in the crypto channel there daily, and I have my own Crown Traders channel there. And so you can engage with me personally there in the Discord. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple of the news items, which is the great wealth transfer. The transfer of wealth has begun. The institutions are borrowing and buying Bitcoin with that borrowed money. They believe interest rates will continue to drop and inflation will rise. The high price is making paper hands exit to stable coins and put the money in the bank, which is then losing its purchasing power and putting more hard asset into the hands of institutions accumulating wealth. So what we have here, and let me just break this down for you, and I have explained this before on this channel, actually for several months, like 6 months since this channel started. And two things are in play. The first thing that is in play is the fair accounting. And Bitcoin has not been listed under fair accounting. It's been listed under unfair accounting. And I don't know if that's the term, but it should be called that because we need to make common sense. Common sense is not so common, I'm finding. But why wasn't it always under fair accounting? Exactly. And so therefore, because it wasn't under fair accounting, then businesses and institutions weren't really keen to put it on their balance sheet. And I'll explain about that in a moment if you don't know what fair accounting is. And so only MicroStrategy and Tesla were bold enough to go through all the red tape to actually put it on their balance sheet. And then only to have it when it goes on their balance sheet is not under fair accounting. And other companies weren't prepared to do that. And that's why we've seen Tesla and MicroStrategy skyrocket, because they are the front runners here and they have Bitcoin on their balance sheet and it's about to go fair accounting. What that means basically, Bitcoin is around about $90,000 at the moment. But that doesn't mean that they can report Bitcoin at 90,000 on their balance sheet. Because in the reporting period, if Bitcoin was at 65 or 53, they would have to record that low price. And therefore, investors are like, oh, this company is losing money or the value is low, and therefore companies weren't keen to do it. Now, number one, companies will be more likely to add Bitcoin to their balance sheet because Bitcoin, as of December 2024, is going to be registered under or is going to be recognized under fair accounting. And therefore, whatever that price of Bitcoin is on the balance sheet, and if there's been a big profit, then they're able to show that. So it should have been that way all the way from the beginning. Why it wasn't, who knows? Who knows, right? And so therefore we should have the Department of Common Sense. So what have they got? The Department of Government Efficiency? We need the Department of Common Sense. That's probably what the Department of Government Efficiency has been set up. But Bitcoin is now going to have some common sense applied to the way it's accounted for. And so that's going to make companies more likely to add Bitcoin to their balance sheet. The second thing that comes along with that is the ETF. What does the ETF allow for these big companies and institutions and whales to do? It allows them to borrow the money. They just call their broker, I want 10 million Bitcoin today, put in the order. The brokerage buys it for them, and they don't even use their own money. These big, wealthy individuals and companies don't now even use their own money to buy the Bitcoin. Imagine if you could just call the bank and say, listen, 100 million on Bitcoin today, right then and there. So that is what's happening at the moment, and that's why Bitcoin. And how do they get retail's Bitcoin? How do they get yours and mine Bitcoin? Two ways. Fear. They cause a lot of dumping and volatility during the reaccumulation phase. People going, Bitcoin to 40,000, Bitcoin to 30,000. Sit down. It didn't go there. And here, where could you have found about this? By watching the Tribal Trades channel. I gave you the exact bottoms and the exact lows for the last, through what months was it? July, August, September, October, and November. I told you where the lows would be, what the prices would be there. And so certainly if you'd followed this channel, you could have navigated that safely and got Bitcoin at the premium low prices there. Okay, so that is the great wealth transfer. And so that causes panic selling, wars happening, whatever, and people sell their Bitcoin and the institutions snap that up. The other way that it can happen is through causing the price to soar, and then people sell their Bitcoin and they scoop that Bitcoin up there, and then you want to try and buy it back, and you have to buy it back a lot higher until the bear market. And we're going to look at where I feel the bear market bottoms are going to be in just a moment there, okay? So that's just some interesting things that I thought would help people out there. And I know everybody's going to be asking, so how do we sell our Bitcoin? Do we hold on to it? I'm going to answer that in a little bit here. Here we have the gold and the Bitcoin. We see gold, bit of a copper handle, put some tea in the copper handle, and there we saw a great rally for gold, and we're currently seeing this Bitcoin breakout. We have 125,000 as the target price there. Certainly I revised my target for Bitcoin when a crypto-friendly administration was are in power. That changed everything for me, and I moved from the 100 to 120,000 Bitcoin to the 150 to $170,000 top Bitcoin price, which I'm currently going to go with there. And certainly, if anything changes, if the U.S. government come in and say that they're going to be buying Bitcoin, or other companies come in, that price target could be revised. But based on where we are now and what I know now, I'm going to put that at 150 to 170K there. And of course, BlackRock settles another 11,944 Bitcoin from yesterday's trading of IBIT. And so there was a record 5 billion in volume for the first time ever for the ETFs. And that will settle tomorrow at 6 p.m., which is tomorrow is actually today. It's going to settle at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If BlackRock are running out of Bitcoin, they're going to have to go and buy from the exchanges or from the OTC desk, which also may be getting low. And what happens when there's just no more Bitcoin left to buy? It's going to create a skyrocket in the price there of Bitcoin. So let's jump into the charts here with Bitcoin, and let's see what we've got going on. Okay, so first and foremost, there was some great entries here. And let's talk about where I feel the Bitcoin bottom could be in the bear market, okay? And I think this is going to be fairly accurate, but we'll see. I may revise this once we get to the top, but this is my guesstimation based off a $170,000 top $150,000 to $170,000 top. If we go to 250, 300, then this is going to change. But based upon where I feel like we are now, if we get to 150, if we get to that 170 mark, then the bear market bottom should be somewhere between around, I think, 67,000 to around the 73,000, 72, $70,000 mark. In fact, 67 to around 70,000 to 73,000. This would be my area right in here. That could be the bear market bottom. And the reason that I come to that is a couple of reasons. Number one, the low of the election week on November the 4th was 66,800. I know it because I had a buy order set for 66,600. It didn't get hit. I should have known that number would never get hit. But certainly the 66,800. Historically, that low of an election week of the last halving cycles has never again breached. Been never again come down to. So it's come close, but has never come down to it. So we expect if history repeats, we will never see 66,000. What was the low there? 66,835 ever again. We can cross that off the list. Now, history doesn't always repeat, but often rhymes. Certainly, history can be broken, but certainly that does give us a level there. Secondly, history also states that Bitcoin generally does not go down below its previous market all-time high, which is around 69,000. So therefore, we could see Bitcoin not go below 69,000 also. And if it does go below 69,000, not below by much. The last cycle, the 2 cycles ago, the high was like $18,900 or $19,000. And so Bitcoin did breach that. So that was the first time historically it happened. It didn't breach it by much. It went to 16K. And that was only because the FTX collapsed. Maybe that black swan event, maybe that never would have happened. So even with the black swan event, it didn't go much below. So therefore, that's how I'm coming up with those numbers of between around that 67,000, to that 70,000 region there could be our bear market bottom of where we come back to, okay? But that's, you can't be thinking, oh yeah, I'll sell it now at 90,000 and wait for the bear market to go low. What if other things happen that I don't know about going in the background that sends Bitcoin to 200, 300, 400? What if Bitcoin goes to 500,000? Well, then I don't think we're going to come back to that number, okay? So that's just projections based off what we know, and a lot can change. Okay, let's just talk about price action right now. So what we have here is we have a break, a retest, and a hold of that $88,000 level for Bitcoin, $87,000, $88,000 level for Bitcoin. And so therefore, there is no breakdown of that level. Okay, we're holding that. The next level up is up here at 96,000, around 96,750, and then the next level above that, we're into the $104,000 level. Okay, so those are our targets to the upside. Now, if we're wanting to accumulate and buy in any dips, or just trade this, get in and get out, and just treat it as a trade, certainly. We can, the level there is 83,000 that we're looking at, 83,200. And then further down from that, we have 79,000, or 80,000, which also has the tribal trades trend line, which is actually moving up. So depending on when the correction comes, that trend line could be up at around this level here. We can actually stretch that out a little bit here and just give a little bit more context to where we could come back to. And we certainly have seen this as support and resistance. It's been resistance, and then it was resistance, and now it flipped to support. So if we're looking at taking profits on Bitcoin, first of all, anything can happen. There could be a massive global event. Certainly, there could be all kinds of other things that could happen in the world that could cause a recession, a massive capitulation, markets crumbling, and you don't want to be left thinking, I just took no profit on my Bitcoin. I held it faithfully from 40,000, I went up to 90, and then the whole market just crashed, global markets crashed, and I got nothing. So here's a way that you can play it and to try and maximize this as we wrap up this video. And so where we look here, we come back. Now, if we just keep going to this level and we hit it, and we don't reject off this level if we go back to the daily, but we break through, and I'd probably do this on the daily time frame actually. If we break through and we retest and hold and we close, then that would be a sign to me that I would wait to take profits. So what do we have happen here? So let's just have a look at this on how this could have been played if you bought Bitcoin. Let's just say you bought down here at this and you come up to here and we're kind of moving up. Let's just take it from this most recent price action here, is that we broke and then we had a retest on this Fibonacci and the Tribal Trades trend line, double whammy there, and we then came down and we retested and went up. So you could stay in the trade. So in theory, the next Fibonacci level, we had a break, a successful retest. You saw this candle, it closed above, and then the next candle closed above, and there was a successful retest. So you wouldn't have taken profits there. And then you go up here, same thing happens. Although we did dip down below and it was a bit scary, we came back and we retested and we held the line here, and so would not have taken any profits here. So now if we come up, what are we going to do? We're going to wait to see, do we break? If we break, do we close the candle on the daily? If we do close the candle on the daily, then we stay in the trade. If we then come back to here and retest the daily candle and again close above, we stay in the trade. If this reverses and we not stay in the trade, but we don't have to take profit there. Let me just rephrase that. And then secondly, if we were to come down here and then retest and reject, that is where you could take some profit off the table. We have a close under this on the daily, and then we have the next daily candle we retest and reject. That is when you could actually take some profits off the table there for Bitcoin. I would never advocating sell all of your Bitcoin. Never, never, never do that. But this is just for some people, because some people, you might have 5, 10 Bitcoin, you might have 3, and you're looking at areas that you can actually take some profits just in case there is something big can happen. I mean, what if we come all the way down here to 73,000 and you're like, oh, I wish I had have taken some profit up here. And then this way, you're not left in a situation where if you've taken profit here and it keeps going up and go, oh no, and you take profit here and then it keeps going up and you go, oh no, I took profit too early. You don't take profit too early using this method that I'm showing you in this video. I hope this helps some people out there today. And until the next episode, happy trading.